are back talking about the magic, talking about the spells, talking about the creatures, and I don't know how to rhyme. We're back talking about Harry Potter. I am very excited to talk about these movies. So, Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets came out in the year 2002, directed by, once again, by Christopher. If I make that mistake one more time, I almost said Christopher Columbus again. Thank God the next one isn't directed by him. Chris Columbus. Once again. So this one is about, there's like a mystery going on at the school, and it all revolves around this Chamber of Secrets. And it's like a big mystery around the school, and the school's in danger. So, Chamber of Secrets, I've probably seen less than Sorcerer's Stone. Mainly because of the fucking runtime. This movie is nearly 3 hours long. Now, it's not a bad thing. I think the movie never feels boring, necessarily. But, this movie's almost 3 hours long. Thank God there's no director's cut. Oh my god. I mean, that should tell you how good these movies are when there's not a single director's cut for any of them. So, what do I think of Chamber of Secrets? I think this is better than the first one. This movie is fucking amazing. I really like this movie a lot. You know, I never appreciated this movie as a kid. I fucking love this movie. This movie's really good. They do a lot of great things with the story. They develop the characters a little bit more. Everything, I think, works really well in this movie. Kevin, your thoughts on Chamber of Secrets?
I thought it was one of those films that it's like, it's long, but it's long for a reason. It goes throughout all these films, and I guess one thing that I really loved about this movie was that, unlike the first one, because the world was already established, you ran right into the story almost immediately. As soon as you enter Hogwarts, and it's not just, it takes some time for you to get used to everything before they head into the story.
Yeah, that is definitely a positive. The fact that, you know, they've already established everything that's gonna happen, so it's like, alright, we don't need to really, you know, do anything. Now we just need to make a good story, and they made a damn good story. So, let's talk about the positives. Most positives, because there's really no negatives for me. Let's talk about the positives. First thing, acting across the board. Once again, fantastic. These movies, I don't think any of these movies have bad acting in them. And I'm going to touch on some things here that I didn't talk about in Sorcerer's Stone, mainly because I was just trying to be brief. But there are some things that I wanted to mention in this review that apply to the last one that I didn't. So, standouts. Once again, the main three, they all do a great job. Kenneth Branagh as Gilderoy Lockhart, fucking hilarious, bro. This guy's a clown. He's basically a fake wizard. You know, you find that out in the movie that he's, you know, he's not even, you know, a great wizard. He's just, he's a fake. He's great at what he does. Kenneth Branagh, you know, he just royally fucked himself by directing Artemis Fowl, but he's still great in this movie. One of the things I didn't touch on in my last review, Draco fucking Malfoy. Oh my god. This is the definition of a little shit. This is the definition. This fucking kid. Oh my god. This fucking kid is terrible. But I gotta say, Tom Felton, he does a great job. He's great at what he does. He's a prick, he's a dick, he's an ass, but he's great at it. He's great, honestly, he's great. But the standout, speaking of Malfoy, Lucius Malfoy, who's first introduced in this movie, played by Jason Isaacs. Holy shit, this guy is fucking awesome. I love Lucius Malfoy. Fucking awesome. Mark Williams as Mr. Weasley's introduced also. Nice presence. Bonnie Wright is introduced as Ginny for the first time. She actually has a big role towards the end. She's really funny, and, you know, I love her little scene with Harry when she comes downstairs. She's just like, because she has a cute little crush on him. You know, that's awesome. What other characters? Ron's mom has the funniest fucking scene in this entire franchise. It is my favorite comedy scene in this entire movie, in this entire franchise. The scene where Ron gets the note at the table, and it's a note of Ron's mother yelling at him for taking the car. Oh my god! If I'm ever depressed, you show me that, I would be cheered up in 5 seconds. That is the funniest shit ever, ever. I love it. The story in this movie is also much better than the first one, in my eyes. First of all, it doesn't take an hour into the movie for it to get going, but granted, that's because they had to establish the world. The story here is much better. It revolves around the Chamber of Secrets. These people are these people are being attacked and like frozen or whatever, and it's kind of like a murder mystery, kind of. And I love that. You guys know I'm a big fan of horror. I love that, and I know it's not necessarily murder mystery, but it's one of those things where people are getting attacked and it's like, well, who the fuck is doing it? Then we find out I actually don't understand it. It's like, it's Tom Riddle, but he's like a memory. Like, Harry finds his journal, and Tom is like coming back in the sense of the riddle, of the journal or some shit. And you find out that it's actually Voldemort in Tom's memory shit. I don't know. I don't understand.
It leads in, that kind of leads into the whole Horcrux thing, where it's not so much of a spoiler, but essentially Voldemort split his soul into multiple different pieces. These Horcruxes. That journal was one of them, so that's why you saw Tom Riddle, because that's a little bit of his memory right there in that journal.
And you saw also the it's fun seeing these movies and seeing things fall into place on where they would follow towards the end. You see the tooth go into Harry's arm, which is what they used to destroy the journal in Deathly Hallows Part 2. Little things like that. I'm like, oh, I love it. But yeah, the story was awesome, and it ends really good too. I love it. The reveal that Riddle is Voldemort is fucking awesome, because it shows this motherfucker ain't gonna give up till he comes back. Fucking awesome. And the ending is great too. Seeing Hagrid come back after he's been deemed innocent, fucking awesome. And the story, you know, it has a good flow. It has a nice pace. It flows nicely. It doesn't feel like the first one, where the first one, it was flowing nicely and then automatically shift. Okay, now it's about this. You know, it kind of moves nicely into, you know, what we're doing. These are my mixed. The CGI is still not the greatest. It's better in this movie, but it's not, you know, perfect. The CGI snake when Draco and Harry have their face off, that looked bad. And some of the other effects, I forgot what other effect looked really bad. But the bird, the phoenix, sometimes looked really bad. It sucks that these movies are so good, but the effects still aren't good. Hopefully by Prisoner of Azkaban, which I think they are, these effects get to where they need to be. The movie is a tad bit too long. This movie did not need to be nearly 3 hours long. Do I think they could have cut some things out? Yeah. But, the movie's fine as it is, but I think they could have cut something out. Oh, also, in terms of CGI, Dobby looks fucking terrible. I like the character. He's awesome, but CGI, They did a great job later when they brought him back in Deathly Hallows Part 1. What was I gonna say? Also, this is just a little nitpick. So, Kevin, you know how from It Chapter 1 to It Chapter 2, the kids basically hit puberty and they couldn't use them anymore?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm watching this movie. First of all, thank God they didn't de-age them with CGI. god. But in this movie, they look way older than they're supposed to be. And it's only supposed to be a year after. I'm sorry. They look way older in this movie than they did in the first one. And it's only supposed to be a year time gap. That's just me.
Well, at least I didn't go through the trouble of de-aging them, huh?
Yeah, thank God. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about the whole thing anymore because, you know, once we hit the point of Prisoner of Azkaban, they're already teenagers at that point. So it's like, whatever. My favorite scene in this movie would probably be the, let's see. There's a lot of good scenes in this movie. Basically the ending. The scene where Riddle reveals himself to be Voldemort. That's a great twist. I really enjoy that stuff. Kevin, your favorite scene?
Basically when Harry just stuck that sword up the snake's mouth, that shit was awesome.
Yeah, that was good. Excuse me, hold on. There we go. So I don't have anything else to add to it. This movie's great. It's better than the first. That's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. I love the story. I love the characters. It continues the Voldemort story nicely. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying the Harry Potter review so far. On Friday is a big day. Friday, we will be reviewing Prisoner of Azkaban. But also, I will be streaming The Last of Us Part 2. So I hope you guys can come check that out. And if you haven't already, please leave a like, subscribe, and stay safe in quarantine. See ya.